A few days after the 60th anniversary of Nigeria's independence from British rule, the country's youth took to the streets to protest against police brutality as well as demand for the reform of the police force, using the hashtag #EndSARS on social media. The latest outcry, which has by far surpassed any before it, was triggered by multiple cases of high-handedness by the dreaded rogue police unit called the Special Anti-Robbery Squad, or SARS, as it were known. The protests, which have been concentrated in Nigeria's administrative capital, Abuja, and Lagos, her commercial capital, have gradually spread to all corners of the multi-ethnic country as frustrations over the harassment, extortion, and extrajudicial killings meted out by the despised police tactical unit overflowed. There have also been similar protests in the United Kingdom and the United States, while global celebrities like Celine Dion, Kanye West, Drake and Trey Songz joined Nigerian superstars Wizkid and Davido in denouncing SARS. For its numerous atrocities, SARS was disbanded by Nigeria's Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Adamu.
The Special Anti-Robbery Squad of the Nigerian Police, otherwise known as SARS, is hereby dissolved across all formations, the 36 state police commands, and the Federal Capital Territory, where they currently exist.
Rather than discourage the protesters, the Inspector General's move further inflamed passions.
Protesters are still being detained.
Yes.
For simply exercising their fundamental human rights.
Yes. And the rights of the people.
So if you are really serious about police reform, if you're really serious, if SARS has really ended, then why are we still seeing these forms of police misconduct? Why are we still seeing these gross violations of our fundamental human rights?
How many people Sassy go kill? 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 Oh yeah! Kill us, how many people Sassy go kill?
The EndSARS now, all these people are fighting right here. We're not fighting anybody, just
Nigeria's President Muhammadu Buhari's attempt at dousing the tension by promising police reforms have been met by a scaling up of the protests, with a total lockdown of the country's major cities already underway.
We're right here in Coast City. We're letting our voices be heard. Loud. End police brutality. End it right now. That's the good way for Lagos.
The federal government directed the country's 36 governors to establish judicial panels to investigate alleged police brutality in their states, negotiate with protesters, and establish funds to compensate victims of SARS. In addition, Nigeria's Vice President, Yemi Osinbajo, in a series of tweets, apologized to Nigeria's youth for not doing enough. After being derided by its leaders as a docile generation, Nigeria's youth seem to have finally found their voice by demanding better governance, starting with police reforms.
Our top story at this hour is our central story that is still developing and unfolding tonight. Sounds of gunfire have exploded on the streets in Nigeria's commercial capital, Lagos, as troops open fire on protesters there. There are reports of people killed and wounded as the Nigerian authorities move to end increasingly violent protests against police abuses. Riot police have been deployed across the country and a curfew has come into force in several states. We have special coverage tonight as Nigeria witnesses a major escalation after 2 weeks of protests against police brutality. But still, the protesters have remained on the streets.
Look at Lagos, ladies and gentlemen, look at over there. Look at Lagos is on fire. They're blocked everywhere.
Despite video and pictorial evidence, the Nigerian army has denied opening fire and killing peaceful NSAS protesters at the Lekki toll gate in the nation's commercial capital, Lagos. In the aftermath of the shooting, looting, jailbreaks, burning of public and private property was witnessed in several states across the country.
Everywhere is burning, everywhere is burning. Everywhere, fire everywhere. Look at, COVID is burning, GTB is burning, look at.
With growing anxiety across the nation, state governors began imposing curfews, and Nigerians demanded answers from the President of the Federal Republic, Muhammadu Buhari.
As a democratic government, we listened to and carefully evaluated the 5-point demands of the protesters. And having accepted them, we immediately scrapped SARS and put measures in place to address the other demands of our youth. On approving the termination of SARS, I already made it clear that it was in line with our commitment to the implementation of extensive police reforms.
One day, President Muhammadu Buhari's national broadcast failed to address the shooting that has been blamed on the Nigerian army, leaving Nigerians with many more questions than answers.
When the war is won, we will be sure, we will be sure.
By demanding reforms and better governance, the Nigerian youth has shown its readiness to take up the mantle and lead Africa's largest economy into the prosperous future that its huge potential deserves.